Great. Thank you very much. Good morning. We are sitting as the Audit Committee today. So our Government Operations Committee is joined by Council President Evan Glass. Council Vice President Andrew Friedson unfortunately is attending a funeral this morning and will not be joining us for the audit report. So I think without further ado, Mr. DeFazio, do I turn it over to you and we'll kick things off.
Okay. Good morning. Before we start, I wanted to let the committee know that Retirement's Chief Operating Officer, Yan, she's unable to make it today, but Kevin will be here to answer any questions you guys have. So today we're going to receive a briefing from our financial auditing firm, SB & Company, on the results of the FY22 audit, and it's going to be followed by any committee questions, comments you have for SB, Finance, or Retirement. Then the committee is going to review and vote on the audit contract renewal so SB & Company can perform the FY23 audits. So now I'm going to turn it over to SB & Company, and they're going to brief the audit committee on the FY22 audit results.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Blaze. My name is Bill Seymour. I'm the engagement partner with SB & Company. I have with me Toby Hollander, who is the overall engagement manager, and then we also have Tiana Wynn and Stephen McCall, who were, Tiana was the audit partner over ERS, and Stephen was the engagement manager over ERS. What we have is a presentation. I'm going to walk through it fairly high level. Please feel free to stop me with any questions that you may have. We have the listing of the scope of services that we were engaged to perform, the financial statement audit, the uniform guidance single audit, and then various other kind of subset audits that are required either for legislative purposes or at the behest of council. Next slide, please. We can go next. So the summary of the results, we've issued an unmodified, or if you will, clean opinion on the financial statements. That's the best opinion that we are allowed to issue under generally accepted auditing standards. We did not discover any instances of fraud. I would caution, however, our audit is not a fraud audit. That would be different in scope. However, professional standards and firm standards require that we maintain a healthy skepticism, ask questions, look for it in what it is that we test, and through those procedures we did not discover any instances. We discovered no material weaknesses in internal controls. We received full cooperation from management. We had a similar presentation to ERS for the pension and OPEB financial statement results, and we had no audit journal entries as a result of the audit. This is a pictorial of our audit approach. It is designed so that we spend the most time identifying where the risks of material misstatement are, and then assessing and testing how management has designed and operated controls to mitigate those risks. Then we also perform various analytical procedures, substantive procedures, and then audit standard required items. And this entire process is designed to allow us to garner enough audit evidence to be able to issue that unmodified opinion. Next slide, please. So the first area that we look at is the control environment, if you will, the tone at the top. And we follow the COSO model of controls, which is the 5 interrelated components as listed, being the control environment, risk assessment, the specific control activities, monitoring, and information and communication. And you can see in all cases our assessment was effective. Next slide. Then we dive down a little bit further to the key processes and the underlying functions as they support the financial statements. Same item, our assessment here is effective. Had we had journal entries, had we had lots of issues, we would use terms like needs improvement, potentially significant deficiency, or material weakness, of which we do not have any of those. Next slide. And going further through, once again, everything being effective, green is good. Next slide, please. The single audit, which we are in the process of completing, we have 9 major programs that we're going through and testing. We will we're testing up about 60%, or about $237 million of the $393 million that was spent by the county during the fiscal year. As a low-risk entity, we would be required only to get to 20%. Now, there's certain programs that are mandatory high risk that we would have to go through and test, and others that rotate in and out over a 3-year period. We've, like I said, completed the majority of test work. We've noted no material weaknesses or what we would term significant deficiencies. We may have what we would call a minor finding or two that will come out of it. Unfortunately, in a financial statement audit, we get to exercise judgment on what it is and the impact. In a single audit, that judgment is taken out of our hands, and so then if there's certain items, even if they're minor, they end up having to be reported. Next slide. The remaining portion of our presentation goes through our specific required communications. This is our opportunity, our responsibility to talk with you kind of what's behind the audit. You know, I mentioned earlier we've issued an unmodified or clean opinion, but from an audit perspective, there's lots of ways that you could get there. You could have, you know, lots of journal entries. You could have, you know, accounting policies that that just are barely acceptable, or you could have disagreements. We have no real negative items that we would have to put on the table. From an audit perspective, kind of it's very boring, which is, you know, a different way of saying that's good through there. Next slide, please. And as I mentioned, no audit adjustments, didn't discover fraud, no material weakness, no disagreements, no serious difficulties. We did receive a management representation letter from management as part of the audit. If you would like a copy of that, just let us know. We'll provide that to you. No consultation with other accountants. We are independent, and we did not perform non-audit services. And I'll stop there and see if there's any questions.
Great. Thank you so much for that presentation. I just have two things, one's a comment. It would be good to give the audit committee the management letter when you have that. And going back, I very much appreciate the slides that started on slide 6 and all the green. To see that, we love to see that. And just to underscore, as you were going through the audit, were there any suggestions at all for changing any of the functions?
So if you're speaking of a management recommendations letter, we do not plan on issuing one, as we did not have items that would rise to that level where it would require that type of communication. We do have certain what we would term kind of housekeeping items that would be more, if you will, if you forgive the discussion, kind of dialing some items in, some best practices that we see that wouldn't rise to the level that we would be required to put that in a management recommendation letter. And we work with management, kind of those are real-time discussions as we go through the process. So we're not planning on issuing a management recommendations letter. I mentioned earlier the management representation letter, and that is a letter where management's making certain representations to us as part of the audit.
Great. Thank you so much. Colleagues, have any questions? Councilmember Katz?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say very publicly thank you for doing this. And the words unmodified and clean opinion is what we're here for. Everybody who is involved or pays taxes in Montgomery County wants to hear that. And obviously you are making certain that we are following any and all rules. So it's very comforting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. And I'll just share that and ask if our finance department has any comments to make or give you the opportunity.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm Mike Covey with the Department of Finance. We'll just continue our long tradition of being boring and thank SB and Company, Bill, and Toby and their staff, but really thank you to Mike Lee and Dave Crow for overseeing this audit. Most of the work is done, as you know, in the Office of the Controller within the Department of Finance, and they always do a fantastic job. Dave has been our acting controller for 16 very long months now, and he's done a fantastic job, as they all have. Mike is our lead accountant as our general accounting manager, and they work really well with SB and Company, who has been a great partner, along with Blaze and the other component units. So thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. And as we've said, the shortness of the presentation is not to diminish the importance of it, because this is critical for our government to ensure that we have the appropriate checks and balances in place for our finances. And in a good year, this is a short presentation, and we like that. And so we just thank you all for your work on this, and appreciate you coming here today. Mr. DeFazio, is there anything else on the audit, or should we move to the contract?
Let's move to the contract.
Let's move to the contract then.
Okay, so this is the renewal of the audit contract for SB and Company. This is going to be for the 4th and final year of the contract. We will be posting a RFP for a new contract in August. So for this amendment, there's going to be no fee increase. This is for the final year. And finally, staff recommends approval of the contract amendment.
Great. Any questions from the audit committee? No?
I just think it should be noted that the reason it's the 4th and final is that we don't want the same auditors all the time, and there's another safeguard because we're doing it that way. But you certainly have done a wonderful job, and I'm certainly in favor of your fourth year. Thank you.
Yep, no objections here, so we'll move forward with the 4th year and look forward to working with you again in the coming year.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anything else? The audit committee is done for the day, and the GO committee meeting that was supposed to take place after this has been postponed. So we're done for now. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.